Today, other interesting business news, you have Lucid Motors to decrease the price of their entry-level EV by around $8,000. Now, Lucid Motors is known for making a luxury EV sedan, which to me, they all look the same, and I'm a gearhead. I usually notice the nuances and little differences between the trim levels. Lucid Motors, their most expensive one, the Lucid Sapphire XY Banana Falcon, pretty sure that's the trim level. It is the Lucid Air Blue Sapphire, something like that. It costs $249,000 before the government taxes it, so yeah, tack on a little extra money for that. And again, they look okay. I went, again, for $250,000, I want something with a stick shift. 3 pedals, as every vehicle should have by default. You have an infinite more amount of fun, and also won't break in 7 years when the battery's dead and that's the majority of the value of the vehicle. But I partially digress. Now, Lucid Motors, again, they're known for having the most expensive luxury brand for EVs, I would say, and they're slowly increasing their market share, but they're still losing money. Granted, the losses are lessening per vehicle, so they're moving in the right direction. And again, not financial advice. They're publicly traded. Their stock's been crashing or tumbling precipitously. To me, the silver lining is Saudi Arabia is one of the biggest backers of the company, and they basically print money for a living. In that country, if you look at what the leadership is saying, they want to move more into tech and EV. That's kind of what they see as the future in terms of their economy, and it shows with the type of incentives they're having for tech companies to actually open up regional headquarters in those areas. Now, going back to this comes to us thanks to TechCrunch.com. They note that specifically the rear-wheel drive version of the base model Lucid Air Pure will now start at $69,900, which previously was $77,400. Now they note that the more powerful Lucid Air Touring model, which offers all-wheel drive performance and roughly 50% more horsepower, will now start at $77,900, down from $85,900, and the all-wheel drive version of the Pure being discontinued. Oh no! All 5 prospective clients their hearts will be shattered. I mean, there's at least 5, maybe 6 people who really had their heart set on getting that specific trim level. They also know that even the Lucid Grand Air Touring, so they have the Grand Air, then they have Grand Air Touring. Again, I don't know who's in charge of their marketing, but nevertheless, the Grand Air Touring offers 500 miles of range. That looks like it's going to be starting at $109,900, down from $110,900. Woohoo! Look at that discount. I'm gonna go buy it right now. Said, I can't help. No one is thinking that. I guess that has to be more marketing than cost, because $1,000 to them is nothing. They're losing $40,000+ per vehicle. But psychologically speaking, and it's a fascinating thing, especially you see it's in retail, there's a reason everything is priced at 99 cents. And perhaps I'm just sore and bitter, because as a child, I had my heart set on getting an electric scooter back in the day, but my family couldn't afford it, because again, they were very expensive. It's a luxury thing. No one needs it. And then I saw on the cover a sharper image. It said in big bold font, electric scooter under $200. I'm like, oh my gosh, my family can finally afford this. Yes. Maybe it'll be $20, maybe $30. Remember, I was a kid. I was in the single digits. I think I was 8 or 9 years old. I go to the page in the sharper image catalog and $199.99. And don't forget, the government takes another 8 to 12% in sales tax on top of that. So, but it gets people's attention. It works, especially in retail. That's why you see it's not $10, it's $9.99. So for that specific trim level, I suspect that's just for marketing, because again, it's under $110,000. It's $109,900, but it's psychologically, maybe that might be what they're doing. Now they also know that additional offering $1,000 down towards the purchase of a charging station for home, including free scheduled maintenance. Now it looks like in terms of 2023 sales, last year's fiscal year sales, they delivered 6,001 cars, which again, they're ramping up production. It's taking time, obviously. Investors aren't happy these days. So it'll be interesting to see. They also note that the company's cars are not eligible for the $7,500 point of sale federal EV tax credit, though they do qualify for the leasing credit of the same amount. And Lucid CEO Peter Rawlinson, he had a really big compensation package thrown at him last year, so he's going to be around for quite some time. I mean, the incentive is there. And he noted that, quote, the company is struggling with marketing, which Yeah, because to me they look boring and all look the same. All the trim levels. The one that starts at $80,000 and one that goes to $250,000. And people talk smack about the old Dodge Chrysler Challenger cars, but because again they had one of the biggest spreads. It started at like 30,000 and went over to like over $100,000. But at least those they put some effort into adding some additional air scoops and other things on the vehicle. Different. They made them visually look different enough where I would say the average person could tell a little bit the Charger. Whereas these, no way most average consumers can tell differences. And again, that tax credit gives a lot of incentives because again your tax dollars are paying for it. So 7,500 doesn't qualify for that. So again, Lucid Motors, it also says, oh yeah, when it comes to the company struggling in marketing, the CEO Peter said, quote, "Too few people are aware of not just the car but even the company," unquote. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think my friends know it as being comically expensive for very low, relatively low known brand name and debatable quality. There's been one or two interesting like YouTubers and automotive articles that have covered the technology in the vehicle, but yeah, it's things aren't looking great over there. It's partially because Tesla already makes cars that are just as fast, maybe a fraction of a second slower. So, I mean, they're not really an industry leader in the speed department. Perhaps they have a little bit more leather and doodads thrown in the side to make it more of a luxury. That's the whole shtick they're going after is luxury brand. But again, I mean, personally, I can't conceivably think of a way or reason, or I would never buy a Lucid, but that's just me. I mean, I can't. Yeah, to me, it'd just be boring as hell. You only have so many times in your life where your heart is beating. You only have so many instances where you're holding the steering wheel of a vehicle. Why not have one with a soul and have three pedals and a manual transmission? Actually, smile every time you punch the accelerator. But that's just me. I would be fascinated here. Would you pay, $89,000 plus for a Lucid Air, Sapphire, Banana, Falcon, whatever trim level you want? I'd be, as always, fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, again, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. Great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can improve the show. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.